Plaintiff, Dana Copping, says soon after the defendant was released from jail, the two of them started dating, despite the fact that the defendant is 30 years older than her and is as old as her parents. Dana claims she and the defendant moved in together, but she was forced to pay his share of the rent, and he has yet to pay her back, so she's suing. Defendant Clint Cooper says he was a high school athlete who got a football scholarship to Ohio State. However, Clint claims he eventually became a drug user and dealer who ended up in jail. Clint claims he started dating Dana after he turned his life around, and although he admits to owing some of the rent, he believes Dana's overcharging him.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Prove your case.
Back in November 2006, we met in the sauna at the gym where he works. He tried to tell me to take his aerobics class that he performed, and so I did. A couple days later, he asked me for a ride home. I took him for a ride home. After that, we went on a date. On this date, he informed me that he was 30 years older than me. I was 20, he was 50. I didn't know where it was going at the time. We were just friends.
Okay.
But 50 years old, he's about as old as my parents. Mm-hmm. And then he also informed me that
How long did it take you to find that out?
Like 2 dates.
2 dates?
2 dates.
All right, and after that, it was no concern?
No, we were just hanging out.
Okay.
And he also informed me that there were going to be lots of rules that he had to abide by. He had just gotten out of jail because some issue with drugs. But he also told me that he lived in a temporary living facility, so I couldn't visit him at his house. We'd always had to be at my house or out. And he also told me that he had a curfew. And I'm 20 years old, I don't have a curfew, but he does. It was rough. Uh-huh. Everybody has a past. I have a past too. Mm-hmm. I was fine with it. But he also explained to me on that same date that he was working on being a better person. He was going to NA meetings, and he was working on finding another job.
All right, and how long after did you all decide to cohabitate?
We didn't move in together until September of '07. We didn't sign a lease together.
All right, and the agreement was what?
That we would each pay half of the rent.
Okay, let me hear from you, sir.
Okay, Judge, first of all, I'd like to tell you that I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. I played football, ran track, played baseball.
Where?
In Detroit.
I know, but is there a particular school?
Oh yeah, McKenzie.
McKenzie?
McKenzie High, same school Jerome Bettis went to. I got a scholarship to play for Ohio State. I played there. I played a little semi-pro football. First of all, I'd like to mention I was raised by my grandfather and grandmother. My mother had me when she was 16. And if you can remember, back in those days, people ran numbers. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I learned both sides of the streets. I learned to work from my grandfather, who retired from Great Lakes Steel, and also the legal side from my mother, who ran numbers at the time before it was even lotteries going around the area.
Numbers are a bookie?
It's the illegal lottery. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I came back to help my grandfather, who had all Parkinson's disease at the time.
Came back from playing ball?
From playing ball. Mm-hmm. At that time, Coleman Young felt that more blacks need to be policemen in Detroit. I knew all the cops from playing ball with them. So I decided to sell drugs, which I did in Detroit.
To the police?
No. They gave me the breaks.
Okay, they gave you a break.
Because they knew me.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So at that
you
time...
You didn't have to pay them?
Did I pay them?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, they just like you.
They liked me.
All right.
They liked me.
Everybody else had to pay, but you fine, you all right.
I was fine.
Go ahead.
At the time, there was a pregnant woman in one of my crack houses, and her water broke. I paid EMS to come get her, take her to the hospital. This was in '83. Mm-hmm. And they did. Unfortunately, she checked herself out and came back to the house. At that time, at point, Your Honor, I knew what I was doing was something wrong. That disturbed me quite a bit. At that time, I gave up the business. I bought a house for my mother in Detroit. I went to Egypt, studied black history, grew my dreadlocks. I then opened up a culture shop called Malcolm X.
Where?
In Detroit on the east side.
What part?
Shane, I believe it was Shane and Mac.
Okay.
It got firebombed. At that particular time and point, the girl I was dating, her parents lived in Wisconsin, so it was time for me to move. I moved to
Shane and Mac, I know some progressive, I would say, community activist organizations.
Right.
Operation Get Down.
Operation Get Down.
Bernard Parker, Inner City Sub Center.
Yep. We also had an organization called Midnight Basketball.
Right.
Yep.
Over at that Y?
Yep, at the Y.
Over there on Gratiot and
on Gratiot.
Van Dyke?
Yep.
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 All right.
Yep. I moved to Wisconsin, unfortunately, with dreadlocks and a background. It was hard for me to get a job. I got arrested in 2003. I went through treatment. I can show you some of the certificates and stuff that I had
Let me see them,
gathered.
please. All right, so essentially you're telling me
Through
you
that
went
program.
from, selling, crack or
Right.
having crack houses in Detroit, and you then became addicted at some point yourself and
Right.
moved to Wisconsin and then changed your life. And you're showing me some of the achievements and some of the evidence that you changed your life and were rehabilitated.
Right.
Very good. Good to hear that. But she says you've done everything right but pay your rent.
Right.
So, tell me about the lease you signed.
Okay, we signed the lease, which at the time I still didn't have a full-time job. I still had child support to pay and restitution, which was my priority. She knew that. I have two daughters in Detroit still, one of the probation officer, the other the nurse, and I have a 4-year-old son here in Wisconsin. Recently, I just got a job that's full-time, that didn't care about my background, didn't care, they didn't ask.
So are you saying you never agreed to pay?
No, I did what I could do.
All right, but we have to talk about the agreement. Let me hear from you.
We agreed. The only
That it
reason
would be half and half?
Exactly. The only reason I moved in with him, otherwise I would have moved back
All right.
to my parents.
And what months has he failed to pay? Let's see it,
September 2007 through April 2009.
All right, now, that's 2 years nearly, right?
And he paid me twice.
Sir, was she asking you about your share of the money? And if so, was she giving a specific amount to you? Or
She was asking about it.
what was she saying?
If I could pay this, well, she knew if I wasn't working, I didn't have it. I said, I can't give you nothing if I don't have it.
Was there ever an agreement that you would pay half of the rent?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so your only defense today is that you don't have it.
I didn't have it.
And you still don't, obviously.
Nope.
All right, unless those are cubic zirconia, you can give up one of the mirror rings. You want one of those, or you know what's happening? You know, okay. All right. And you agree you've only paid 2 months throughout that time frame?
I think it's more than that. I didn't keep record of everything because I just gave the money to her.
I did.
Let's see. Ma'am, did you want to speak? What's your name?
Rachel Thomas.
What do you want to tell me?
I worked with Dana for a year and a half, and I know that she came in frustrated with money and not having any money to pay for things because Clint owed her so much money for rent. She took care of him the whole time he lived there.
And that's what it sounds like, and that happens quite frequently. A man can't get a job, you all are living together, you take care of it the best way you can. When he gets something, he contributes as much as he can. And fortunately, she has a man who agrees that he told her he would pay her half. Unlike many men who would come in here and lie and say, yeah, Your Honor, no, she was my woman. She was supposed to take care of me. I never agreed to pay her a thing. See how good I look? See, I'm this, I'm that. You know, I get a lot of that when they come in here. And so I congratulate you because you have clearly been rehabilitated. When did you all break up?
March of 2009.
All right, and that's when you started asking for your money.
No.
Yeah.
I asked all the time.
Well, why didn't you sue him over those 2 years, didn't you? Why did you conveniently wait till you all were broken up before you started suing him? I'll grant you your judgment, $4,517. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
We can still be friends. I'm okay with that.
Hey, I'm sorry we even had to come this far.